Custom Performance Engineering Standback tuner for the BMW 135, 335, and 535i's. A little demonstration, first in a series of videos we hope to publish. What I'm showing you are the real-time logging capabilities of the Standback software. You're looking at engine RPM, map pressure, wastegate duty cycle, and timing change. So any changes in timing over stock. Certainly no timing changes now, we're just cruising around, but you can see how the graphs scale as the values change, keeping everything in line. And we're going to demonstrate the excellent boost control that CPE has developed for this car. We're in the CPE Shop 135i. It's got downpipes and full turboback exhaust, so you'll get to hear the sound differences at the different boost levels. Right now we're running at 6 psi, so pay close attention to the top right corner of the logging software, the Standback software, showing the map pressure. You can see we're just cruising now, and map pressure is about 0.5, 0.6. As Jordan starts to gun it, you'll see we're hitting 6 psi and holding. Isn't that great? And there's a little spike at the end, and that's because the map sensor is located behind the throttle plate. So the throttle plate closes, the intake tract is pressurized. It doesn't hurt the engine, and that's basically the way this car runs. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate a 1, 2, 3 shift at 6 psi, demonstrating the boost control. We're ready when you are, Jordan. Look at that boost control, flat as a pancake. Perfect, no oscillation. Immediately snaps to 6 psi. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I want to also point out that you can record these data logs. You don't have to just view them in real time and look back at them later, so you can make changes and monitor your boost control and change the way boost comes on. And I'll demonstrate that in a future video. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is with the Standback to change the boost control and boost parameters. I simply go to the top left corner, select the configuration tab, get away from the real-time graphing, and you see we have two maps, primary map and secondary map. I'm going to go from 6 psi to 8 psi and send all the parameters. Okay, parameters are sent, noting the yellow bar on the bottom of the screen. Parameters will be sent and parameters will be verified. Secondary control to make sure there's no problems. I want you to also notice that we use a P, I, and D control loop to control boost. That's why we get such excellent control. And you can control those, you can change those parameters on this page as well. Control KP, KD, and KI, or the PID parameters. So let's go back to the record page. And we've got our engine RPM, map pressure, timing, and wastegate duty cycle. And Jordan's going to demonstrate how we can hit 8 psi immediately, whenever you're ready. Spike to 8, there you go. Flat as a pancake. Comes right off, no problems. Jordan, why don't you give it to him again with a shift? So we show that. There you go. Perfect. See that? Spikes to 9, drops right back down to 8, holds 8 as long as we want. Now we're going to go to 10 psi. So again, we go back to the configuration page, select the primary map, hit 10 psi, and send the parameters. Again, this is the Shop 135i. It's got the CPE cast, bell mouth downpipes, and the CPE catback exhaust, full stainless catback exhaust. So you'll get to hear the sound differences at the different boost levels. Again, we're running at 10 psi. Parameters have been verified. We'll go back to the record page. Keep an eye on the upper right corner. That's with map pressure, so we're going to show you 10 psi, but also try to listen and see if you can hear the sound difference between 6 psi, 8 psi, and 10 psi. Whenever you're ready, Jordan. Look at that, flat as a pancake, 10 psi. That's a lower RPM. You hear this exhaust really sing when Jordan gets up in the upper RPMs. 10 psi, flat as pancake. That was about 5,500 RPM. I'm going to convince him to go to a lower gear so we can really get it to talk to us. He's downshifting, rev matching to downshift. You love that? It's addictive, that noise. Slow down a little bit whenever you're ready, buddy. Watch the RPMs climb. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And now we're going to go to 12 psi. Now Jordan's done the dyno tuning on this car, so we're controlling timing and fueling. It's not a recommendation that you just arbitrarily change boost. The map's already loaded for 12 psi, so it's no problem for us to change the boost pressure. And we're developing maps that we can send out for the various hardware configurations for your car. So again, we do not recommend at all just going into the standback and changing the boost pressure. Even though it is so easy, you can damage your vehicle if you're not careful. So in a moment I'll show you how we make changes to the fueling and the timing to handle the extra boost that we're loading up in the car. Again, factory boost level is 8 psi. We're going 50% more than that, so we're at 12 psi. And I'm going to show you again the real-time logs so you can see how well it holds boost at 12 psi. And again, I want you to focus on the sound, because it just gets more and more glorious as we up the boost, as it should be. Ready when you are, Jordan. There's 12 psi. And that's a low RPM, but you can see there's no spiking appreciably. Go up to 13, but then it goes right down to 12 and holds steady. There's a rev match. Ready when you are. Sorry for the jiggling around, folks. This is an N54 at 12 psi. It's a little bit hard to hang on to. We love it though. Isn't it great? Beautiful. Beautiful. Nothing like it. So after showing you how easy it is to control boost, and then mentioning that you don't want to just do that without controlling the fueling and the timing, let me demonstrate that a little bit. So in order to change those parameters, we go down to the Tune tab, bring up the Tune page, and notice on the left side of the screen you see boost, timing, MAF, MAP, fuel pressure, and MEF. MAF is incorrect. It's for this standback is applicable for several different vehicles, some of which have MAP sensors. BMW, of course, does not have a MAP sensor, so this actually is the scaling of the wideband, so it should just read AFR. But what you're noticing here when I click on that is two maps. I've got a primary map and a secondary map. There's again our scaling of the wideband sensors, and we'll change that when the software is actually released. Note the yellow dot on the screen. As that moves, as Jordan depresses the throttle, that's telling you where you are in the map. So as we increase map pressure, boost essentially, we're adding or subtracting fuel. And in this case, as our map voltage goes above 2.4 volts, we start to add fuel, and then we can add fuel progressively as the map voltage increases. So this is a very easy tool to use if you're a tuner and experienced with engine management, but this absolutely allows full control of the fueling and timing in the N54. So one more thing about the standback that makes it very unique is the ease with which we can connect to it. Standback uses USB connectivity, so it's hot swappable to any laptop. This is an Windows XP laptop. It also runs on basically any version of Windows. And I'm going to remove the USB cable from the back just by pulling it out. And you see the graphs have completely stopped. And that's because there's no connectivity with the standback, so we can't read it. If I just go back and plug the standback back in and go back to the software, I have to re-enable the graphs by selecting this little checkbox, and as soon as I do that, the graphs start back up again. It's